We are back on our 65 Dodge Coronet, this build that's sponsored by Amazon. And Corey, we just got a little bit left to do in this car, don't we?
No, I think that's an understatement. We got to get this thing wired. We got to get the rest of the body panels back on it. We got to plumb the brakes, plumb the fuel, get the fuel system in it, get the dash in, carpet, interior. Kendall already put some insulation in. We got to get the windows back in it, trim back on it. We got to buff out the body. You see the big pieces go in? And when the big pieces go in, people think the car's almost done. That is just the beginning.
These are all the little details that just take time to finish up when you do a big car build like this. But pretty soon we're gonna be debuting this car to Lynn, its owner, before we take it to Roadkill Nights. That's gonna be an exciting day, and we got a lot of work to get done before that happens.
I can't wait to see the look on his face. You know, we've been working around this car. We're getting used to seeing the color, seeing the engine, seeing the carburetors. He hasn't seen any of that, so I think it's gonna be real shocking, we'll say. Why don't you look at your car now?
Holy.
I'm hoping we don't have to follow the directions.
Which said what?
It said,
lift the engine up.
Lift engine up. I don't want to lift this engine up. Oh, look at that.
That's good.
All right, you put the gas, sorry, Con.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang. All right, throw that gasket. I got my fingers right down here. These headers are looking pretty good. We got some really small mufflers, which means big sound, but the cam's got a little bit to it. It's gonna sound a little, you know, hubbada, rum, hopefully we'll get there. I don't think Lynn's neighbors are gonna love it, but I will.
Everyone else will. Now we've gotten to the most exciting part of the painting process other than laying base and clear down. We've spent the last 4 or 5 days, 10, 12-hour days, just wet sanding it. We went from 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500, 2,000, and then 3,000, all the way to 5,000. And what that does, it really kind of negates having to really mess around with a lot of the compound and risk, you know, burning it and whatnot. It really just makes the buffing process that much quicker. We're going to be starting with a cutting pad, a microfiber McGuire's pad with the 105 compound. To keep the amount of dust down from the compound coming off the pad, you got to prime it. So 2 to 3, you know, pea-sized drops on that pad and kind of work it into the paint, blow it out. Do that 2 or 3 times, and then you're ready to go. And you just start cutting. And since we did it to 5,000 grit, it's just cutting like butter. I've already done part of this rear quarter here of this car. Once you first wipe off that first layer of compound after you've just started buffing, that's the first time you can actually see your face in the reflection of the car since you started wet sanding it. So it's super crazy to see all that work for wet sanding really paying off. It's pretty crazy. I can see everybody's legs walking around me as I'm buffing it, so it's pretty cool. Once I'm done with the microfiber pad, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the foam finishing pad, and we're gonna go to the 205 compound. And what that's gonna do is just gonna really give it that wet, super shiny look.
Rumba! Rumba! We're gonna get after this exhaust now. I got my good buddy, Richard Glassick over here. He's the best. He owns a shop up the corner here. He does all of our exhaust. All right, we got our Optima battery here. This is a yellow top. If I'm gonna run an AGM battery, I usually run an Optima yellow top. I've got one Optima yellow top in a Roadster over here that's 22 years old, so we really like these yellow tops. All right, we're gonna take these Dorman pliers. We're gonna strip this back. What we're doing right here, a little unconventional, in our wiring harness, our headlight switch has 2 powers, and on those 2 powers, one is a dedicated 12 volt from the battery, no fuse, and we need to fuse that for the Dodge headlight switch itself. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use these awesome little crimpers at the end here. We're gonna put our wire in there, slide it in, crimp it nice and tight. This is actually out of this Dorman kit over here. It came with shrink wrap the butt connectors, a couple ring terminals. What I like about it is I don't have to sit around and cut these off my roll all day long. I'm gonna go into the car, I'm gonna splice this in, I'm gonna crimp it on this side, then I'm gonna grab my soldering iron, I'm gonna feed solder through this hole, and I'm gonna solder the two together just for safety. Then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna put my shrink wrap over it, and I'm gonna shrink it. Oh yeah, his mom made the package tray, did you see that? Yeah, kind of just like exploded the tools all over the shop. And I'm way too lazy to go find them.
Oh, Stanley? Oh.
I don't know about Stanley, bro.
Sorry, Stanley. We're going Stanley.
No, bro, take that back. I ain't using that. All right, we've been here 28 hours, I think, is where we stopped counting. We were just trying to get it wired, fired. We got to meet Roadkill Nights. It's a real deadline, you know. We didn't have a lot of time. We're gonna try to crank this thing off, and then I'm gonna go home and take a shower. Then we'll come back and give it to Lynn. Go ahead and crank it. That wasn't a bad first crank, first fire, though. That's all I'm saying. I do see a little bit of sparkle back in there. So let's take these bolts out of the crank. So it's been about 37 and a half minutes since we fired it for the first time and figured we had a problem. We had Fozzie went in there, he went and he took the bolts out of the crank pulley. We first took off the belt to the power steering. We thought that's what it was. Then we took off the alternator water pump and it was still there, which means the only thing rotating to give us rotating sound was in the crank. And when we got the pulley set, we got a set of coarse threaded bolts, and I went and got some fine threaded because of the damper that we're running. And they just happened to be maybe 50 thousandths too long inside the crank damper. So they were touching the timing cover. Fozzie did that, I went and freshened up. We all freshened up just a little bit, throwing this hood on so we can reveal this to Lynn.
Okay, I'm looking at your feet.
Buddy, no looking.
I'm not.
No peeking.
Why don't you look at your car now?
Holy man.
What do you think?
Wow. You guys did an amazing job. Look at that. It's never shined that good, even in the rain.
I want you to know these boys have been working their hearts out for you.
I know.
And it's been hard because you were one of the best workers we had until we had to kick you out of here. Yeah.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
You want to take a little walk around?
Let's walk. Let's look at it. That color.
Wait till you see the paint in the sun.
That's
Come on.
gorgeous.
Yeah,
Those wheels do a nice job.
And then you got that red caliper in there, that power stop caliper.
Yeah.
And the wheels are just really like a 60s proper drag car just in a 17 because you can't fit that in a 14.
Look at the chrome. Holy
The chrome's
man.
pretty nice, isn't it, buddy?
Man.
Check out your interior.
I even have an interior too.
The boys over at SOS really put in some time on that. Remember how you had the 3 layers of the piping?
That cleaned it up really nice.
Oh, yeah.
That looks nice.
Cody went to town on your dash?
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
You like it?
I'm impressed. That is beautiful.
I bet you want to get in there, but not yet.
I can't get in there yet. I don't want to hurt the paint on there. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. So you better pay, thank you. Thank you. You've been thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Connor's been just rubbing that sucker out.
That's what I hear.
I can't even tell you. You know, you think you're like, all right, he's finally done with that panel. We can get some work done. No, I'm gonna buff this a little more. There's a spot right there. I'm gonna get it. You know. Oh, what do you think of your emblem? Kind of recreated that.
Absolutely. But
That pretty hard emblem to find.
Yeah. Pretty hard.
Impossible.
Instinct, some would say.
Wow.
Kendall was adamant about keeping your stock shifter ball in there.
The original
Yeah,
one.
somebody was going to color it in on the numbers, and I had to stop them. Yeah. Would you like to see the best part?
Yeah.
This is my favorite part.
The motor?
This is my favorite part.
Oh, holy.
We've spent a lot of time fixated in there. Would you like to see the bottom of it?
Oh, can I see the bottom?
We can eat off of that too.
Right.
Yeah, we left it on the lift just so you can see what we were worried about.
Sweet. Sweet. It's as orange underneath as it is on top.
This is your third oil pan, just so you know. There were 3 oil pans. If you look at your rack right here, we made some offset rack bushings,
Yeah.
right? Because this was so close.
Boy, and that just barely makes it, doesn't it?
Just barely.
Just barely.
Just barely. You definitely couldn't fit all the receipts from this group.
No. No.
You know the proctologist put some good love into that transmission right there?
That looks nice. Yeah, you got the bell housing painted orange too? Cool.
Yeah.
That looks nice.
Went through everything. Watch your head. This might still be hot. We were just tuning it
I
in.
felt a little warm.
You ready to sit in it or what?
Well, can I, does that an option?
I mean, it is
that
your
an option?
car.
Oh,
It is
well,
your car.
I'll take that.
Kendall's been in it for a couple of hours now.
He
We
beat
need
me.
somebody to turn the keys, like me in the seat right here. Yeah.
Might be a little sweaty. I spent a few minutes.
Come on,
Hop
Linda.
in, Linda.
You been on a date or two in this?
Yeah.
Was it ever this nice when you went on dates?
Never this nice. Holy mackerel.
Oh, nice seats. Oh my God. That's amazing.
Holy mackerel.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hit you.
That's all right.
Oh my gosh.
Give it a couple whaps of the throttle. Give it a little more than that. There you go. You're knocking stuff off the walls over there.
Holy mackerel.
What do you think?
That'll do.
Did you think you'd be driving it like this soon?
No, this is amazing. It is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, as a young person, you get a hot rod like that, and you go, well, I'll probably wreck it, and I probably won't have to worry about it. And then as time goes by and I get married, it goes on the honeymoon, and okay, then the kids come along and they got to come home in it. Then now I got grandkids, and so now as they grow up and get older, and they're gonna be able to say, look, that was you in that car, and hopefully it'll carry on. I know Kendall, you'll have to pry it out of his dead hand somewhere down the line, so it's not going anywhere from the family for a long time.
Yeah, it's a whole melting pot of emotions, especially after being awake for 2 days straight to get this finished up, right? Seeing the reaction on his face, my mom as well. I mean, she cares about the car almost just as much as he does, if not more. So seeing them was definitely priceless.
Corey, that was really exciting. See Lynn's reaction here, the whole family, all the friends, and everyone show up. It's a real treat to be part of this build.
This is truly what it's about, right? It took a community. All my friends, everybody that comes by and hangs out in my shop, they all came down. They helped us when we needed it. We put in some late hours. I'm still on some late hours. Yep. But all I'm saying is everybody pulled together for Lynn, and I'm just super happy. It's not all the time that you get the opportunity to help somebody out like that.
There's just one last bit of work to do, right? Put this car in a trailer.
Drive 34 hours?
1.9 days. This is what my GPS says.
Oh, you looked it up too.
2,300 miles.
Yeah.
And you got to get it to Detroit by Saturday.
Yeah, Roadkill Nights.
Here we are at the Amazon garage here at Roadkill Nights in Pontiac, Michigan. It was a grueling process to get here with this car, but here it is. The car is complete, it runs, it drives.
It's beautiful. And we know this is the first time we've seen this paint in true sunlight.
Yeah.
And in the rain.
In the rain.
Yes.
It rained last night when you were pulling it in. It rained this morning.
Oh, but we are lucky to have Amazon booth behind us because it's air conditioned and we can hang out in there, which is really nice.
And they got some detailing stuff in there too.
Oh yeah, the McGuire's section was pretty good.
This is my first time here at Roadkill Nights. I've been with the company for a while, but I've never needed to cover Roadkill Nights, so here I am. This is my first year, and this
It's my first time coming out here. It was a long drive. It's hard to believe 6 weeks ago this car had been sitting in the field for the better part of 3 decades.
Yeah.
And here it is. It's running. It's driving.
I can't wait to ride around in the
Yeah,
car,
I bet
actually.
Lynn can't wait to drive it.
Yeah,
He
I
still
know.
has yet.
So the reception here, I mean, what have people been saying to you about the car? I've heard nothing but positive stuff.
It's been really good. I heard Cotton came by and liked it,
Yep.
which I was really happy for, but I wish I'd have been here. And everybody that comes by just truly loves it. We've had a few mentions of some of the things we've done as far as color and how it looks in the sun and the way the engine looks, but a resounding love for the dual quads and that crossover. You know, truly, truly. And there's a lot of Mopar people out here.
Oh yeah, this place is full of Mopar
Full of
fans.
Mopar.
So
Yeah.
I almost got a Mopar neck tattoo over there.
Yeah, we almost did. Yeah. We could have had matching ones.
Well, thank you so much, Corey, and all your guys. I
Hey.
think this was one of the best builds certainly the most work we've done here with CarCraft.
It was a lot of work.
No,
Yeah.
you guys knocked it out of the park, though, and I want to thank you very much for that.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. There's nothing that feels better than helping somebody who deserves it. And that really is truly the whole point here. And we got to build a beautiful car that we can put on our resume, and it feels great. You know, it feels great to be able to build something in that time frame, and people aren't sitting here picking it apart. They're picking it up and putting it on a pedestal.
That's right.
Which is a great feeling as a builder.
I think we got a couple more cars to build this year, but we'll talk about that stuff later.
We're gonna battle square things against square things.
right.
You'll understand.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone.
This is the first time I'm driving this car since 2009, and I am excited.
June 20th and today's August 7th?
Yes.
How many days is that?
30. No.
No, that would be July 20th.
60.
That ain't right, bro.